Hello guys, welcome to Current News. I'm your host Chris Davis, and today we're going to do a Disney Plus review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I'm doing episode 1. It's Thursday night, so episode 2 is supposed to be coming out Friday. I watched episode 1, and what I've heard is that there's going to be 6 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but they're long episodes. Episode 1 was 50 minutes. And it was pretty good. I like it. It's very different from WandaVision. And of course I like it that way. I don't want them to all go through, I don't know, the exact same thing. I want them to go through different things and handle it a different way. Basically, what the viewers want, they want it all unique. But episode 1, I was very impressed. I was hooked on the very first episode. It looks like right now there are no Avengers. No Avengers at all. People are doing their own thing. Sam, who is Falcon, he donates the shield, Captain America's shield, to a museum. He doesn't take the mantle up right away, and Rhodey, who's Tony Stark's best friend, asked him in a private conversation why didn't he take up the mantle, and Sam just told him that he couldn't basically fill Steve Rogers' shoes, that he's not Captain America. Steve Rogers is Captain America, and I agree with that. First, I don't really like Falcon as Captain America. I think he's his own character. He doesn't need to be Falcon and Captain America, but it looks like in this series he might be, which is fine. But he doesn't feel right taking Captain America's shield, and he donates it to the museum. We then see him working with the military. He's trying to save this hostage before they get into Libya airspace, and it's this strange terrorist group, and Falcon is having to fight a guy from Captain America Winter Soldier. It's the guy that Steve Rogers was fighting when they were on that boat, and he was doing a lot of kicks and stuff. He was fighting that guy, so he reappears in the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Sam has a really hard time fighting this guy and fighting these terrorists because they keep passing off the hostage and stuff, and they keep trying to stall Falcon, but he's able to rescue the guy before they hit Libyan airspace. Now we really roll into, before we get into Falcon's personal life, let's talk about a group that was mentioned, the Flag Smashers. Really dumb name for a terrorist group. Sounds really silly. In fact, it is silly. But they're up to something, and they stole something from a bank and they escaped. So they're the antagonist, and it looks like they're going to be up to no good, and there's going to be some overarching plot with them, obviously. Now, with Sam's personal life, so he's not working with any Avengers, he's just working with the military. In his personal life, he comes back to his sister and his nephews, and they're getting ready to sell some of their family's property, and Sam doesn't want that. But the sister's made up her mind. She's going to sell this boat so they can keep their family financially afloat. And she tells him to basically back off because he was gone for 5 years. This ties very well in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because what she's referencing is what they call the blip, when Thanos snapped his fingers and everyone vanished. He was gone for 5 years, and in that time, his sister and I guess the rest of their family had to move on because they believed like that he was gone. But basically, Sam's able to convince her that, hey, we can turn it around with my help. We can turn it around. And they start getting loans and stuff. So with this episode, it's broken into Sam, and then it's broken up into Bucky Barnes, and they're really switching in between the two. But I'm talking about Sam's part first, which I'm done. Now I'm going to talk about Bucky. So Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. The first time we see him in episode 1 is in a flashback. We see him kill a lot of people as the Winter Soldier, but it's a flashback. He's having this therapy session, and he's talking to a therapist, and the therapist is trying to get him to open up, try to get him to socialize, because Bucky is, I don't know the right word, catatonic, has very difficulty like expressing himself, socializing with people, because for so long he's been the Winter Soldier and he's been like brainwashed to serve Hydra. And the only relief, I guess, time he got was that time when he was in Wakanda that he mentions. But other than that, he moved from one fight to the next, not really dealing with anything. But with this therapy session, he's trying to make amends for what he did as the Winter Soldier before Captain America like turned him around. And there's this Japanese elderly man that he's visiting, and he keeps up with him and talks with him and hangs out with him. And really reason why he's doing it is he's making amends. He killed his son when he was the Winter Soldier, so that's one of the things he's doing to make amends. And I think I can predict that he's going to tell that old man, or that old man's going to figure out somehow that Bucky is the one that killed his son. I think Bucky's going to tell him, and it's going to be really interesting how he reacts. I don't know if their friendship is going to be completely destroyed, or that old man's going to forgive him. It depends on whatever the creators do. But basically that's what Bucky is doing. He's trying to just make amends for past deeds he's done, and it doesn't look like he's doing any hero work because his therapist gave him rules on making amends. I don't remember them all specifically, but number 1 rule is no one can get hurt. So it's going to be really hard to do something heroic if you can't hurt anybody. But he did it on one occasion, making amends. So when he was Winter Soldier, he got some bad person to be senator in the United States Capitol, and basically he was bringing that person in. But as of this moment, it doesn't look like he's trying to be a hero until episode 2 maybe comes around, and then he gets a real call to action. Now, the last part of episode 1, they revealed some new person. They called him the new Captain America, but he's supposed to be the U.S. agent, and he's supposed to be like some kind of anti-hero. And I'm very curious on watching episode 2 to see what Sam does, to see if he's going to take that shield or not. Because the whole reason why he didn't take that shield is because he didn't feel like he could live up to Captain America, that he couldn't fill those shoes. But honestly, he didn't want anyone to hold that shield, because no one was Captain America except Steve Rogers. So I really liked the direction that Captain America, that Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going. I was hooked on the very first episode. I think a lot of other people were hooked on the very first episode, unlike WandaVision. But for me, you can watch my WandaVision reviews. I was hooked on the very first episode. I was very curious. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier looks really amazing. I'm definitely interested. I will keep watching the show to the very end, and I will keep giving you guys reviews. So this is really good so far. I'm really interested in what they're doing with US Agent and that group with the silly name, the Flag Smashers. I wonder what they're going to do. Alright, that's all we have for today. If you've watched the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with all your friends, and all of you, have a great day.